Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Mallory Jane Creates. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification button so that you will be notified every time I upload a video, which I am trying to do so hard at least once or twice a week. And today I'm going to be turning an old mirror that I actually got from Grocery Outlet. It was only $25. It was like $50 before. Grocery Outlet is so awesome because they like sell this just like random stuff like all the time. Anyways, it was a really dark coffee color, which I just didn't like because a lot of my bathroom is white. So I kind of wanted to turn it into like a beachy kind of theme. And I was gonna leave it kind of plain, but I ended adding some color into it, and I like it a lot better because it just makes the room pop a little bit more. But anyway, hi Bianca and Chevy. Hey guys. Anyways, on to the video. So here I'm just starting with my electric sander. And I'm pretty sure I started with 120 grit. I'm not the one who put the sandpaper on, so I didn't get to check it, but it is between 100 and 200. I know that for sure. Anything lower would have just tore this up, so I had to use kind of like a happy medium. And here I'm just making sure to get as much as I possibly can with the electric sander because it is just so much easier. But there's a lot of, if you can see, there's a lot of like dips and creases on this. So I eventually do have to end up sanding some of the parts just because it was too hard. It was way too hard actually to get like the entire mirror with the electric sander. Okay guys, so some of this you're gonna have to paint by hand. So like these pieces in here are, I'm sorry, not paint, sand. So right here, and then obviously the whole way around. And then they get like where these edges, they, I don't know what you call this, they curve. You're gonna have to use the sander there, or I am, if you do this, you're gonna have to do that. And here I'm just making sure that I'm getting the sides and the back piece because there is a back piece on this mirror that comes out. So you can either like set it up straight or set it up wider. Anyways, here that's what I'm doing. I'm just making sure that I don't forget to get that piece because I am going to have to paint it as well. And here I'm just making sure to wipe off the mirror. Once I was done sanding it, I actually ended up cleaning it off twice. And then here I'm just taping down the entire mirror. I'm covering it with painter's tape. I could have used like plastic or paper or newspaper, anything, but I just decided it was easier to just do it with the painter's tape. So I'm just getting ready to paint. I have white paint here. And I'm not really worried about exactly how thick this is going on. Now, I'm not putting on like great big blobs or anything. And I do end up painting this a second time. So I do go over it 2 times. However, the reason I'm not worried about exactly how thick this goes on, if there's like some small spots where it's thicker, is because after I'm completely done, I end up sanding this down really smooth. And you'll see why towards the end of the video. And here I'm getting ready to put my second coat on. I let this dry for, I think it was around 30 minutes. It didn't take very long. It was really nice out that day. So I am putting a second coat on it. As you can see, it's covering it a lot nicer. If you can see at the top, it would be our left corner. You can see how it wasn't completely covered, which is why I did have to go over it again. Now there are small parts on this where like you could see the dark, but that's totally fine. And you'll also see why at the end. Okay guys, so I'm going to be using this teal color. And then I also have a gray here, and then I'll be adding some white too. And I'm just using the same exact paintbrush that I used in the white. I'm not changing it. And I'm just adding it. It's kind of like in a messy pattern, I guess. You don't want it to be perfect. Just adding it wherever. Basically wherever I want it to see it. I feel like when you're doing this, you kind of gotta, it's whatever you want, really. Like sometimes I like the lighter colors to be on the outside, and a lot of people will do the darker colors on the outside so that it highlights the middle of it. And then I'm just kind of lightly hitting the sides. And then I have a wet rag here, or actually it's just paper towels. And I'm just gonna get some of that blue off because I'm not gonna change paintbrushes. I'm just gonna use the same exact one that I've been using. And I'm gonna dip it in the gray this time. And you don't wanna wait for these to dry because the point of this is to blend these colors all together. I kind of wish, I'm going to keep the gray kind of on the outsides, I think. And we're going to add some more white, so don't worry about the white not showing through because I'm actually going to add some more. And you see that? That's why we put this up. And like I said before, don't worry about any drips or anything or being thick because I'm gonna take a sander. If you do this, you end up sanding it anyway, and then it's gonna be smooth. That's why I kind of like this idea of painting. Okay, now I'm gonna be using my water bottle. Don't worry because this is all gonna blend together and you're gonna sand it down so where there's any, let's see. Like you can see where it runs, if it gets thick, you're gonna sand that all down so it doesn't matter. Okay, now I'm going to be using my water bottle. Don't worry because this is all going to blend together and you're going to sand it down so where there's any, let's see, like you can see where it runs, if it gets thick, you're going to sand that all down so it doesn't matter. Gonna go back through with a little bit of white just to lighten it up because there's just too many colors for me and I wanted this to be a little bit lighter. And I'm just pretty much like randomly placing it just wherever I want the color to be. Okay, now I'm gonna let this dry overnight and then I'm gonna come back to it tomorrow and then we're gonna sand it. So this is how it looks so far. The only thing I wish I would have done different was add a tiny bit more white. So here I'm just going around with 100 grit sandpaper this time because I didn't want it to take all day. You definitely don't want to go any lower than that though because it will pretty much go right through the paint. But because of the way the paint was applied with the water and the blending and everything, I wanted to smooth this out so it was nice and smooth basically, guys. And then every now and then I'm going to be pushing down harder in places so it chips. Just because you know how older furniture or beachy furniture looks, it has some of the chips in it. So I'm just pushing down, not in like any pattern, I'm just randomly doing this throughout the piece wherever I want to see where it's chipped, just so it looks a little bit natural and it doesn't look like it was bought that way. I also want to point out that I did only use the electric sander this time. I didn't end up hand sanding it at all. And here I'm going to be starting with my polyurethane just to seal everything in and give it kind of like a nice glossy finish. So with this, there is directions on the back of the can, guys, but what I did was you do have to put this on evenly or it's just not going to come out right. So I evenly put it out throughout, and then I waited 3 to 4 hours for it to dry, and then I lightly sanded it with my electric sander. I did it very lightly. And then I had to do this process. And I just want to point out that this can take up to 4 days or anywhere to 7 days to actually cure fully. Now this is a Mira, so nothing's going to be sitting on it, so I don't really have that much to worry about. And here I'm just showing you guys how well this turned out. I am so happy with it. I'm in love. I do wish I would have made it just a little bit more white, but now that it's in my bathroom, I'm really happy because I have a lot of white in the bathroom, so this kind of just like really pops inside there. And I'm showing you the back piece that I did not do in the video, but I literally did it just the same as I did the Mira. I used the same concept, and yeah, I'm very, very happy with this.